Hey guys, what is up? Mist here with another video. Today I'm going to be doing a full review of the new Fire TV Stick 4K from Amazon. Is it worth purchasing? Is it worth the upgrade? Well, today I will tell you and show you what this is all about. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so the new Fire TV specs is as is. It has a quad-core processor running at 1.7 GHz. It has a GE8300 GPU. Of course, this does have HDMI 2.0, so it supports 4K with 1.5 gigs of RAM and 8 gigs of storage, supporting Bluetooth 5.0 and AC Wi-Fi with a 2x2 MIMO band, which means you are going to get amazing Wi-Fi performance, like I'll show you later in the video. Also supporting HDR10, 10 Plus, Dolby Vision, and as well as Dolby Atmos 7.1 for audio. With your Fire TV Stick 4K, you also get a little extender, which means that you can plug in your Fire TV Stick basically into any HDMI port. And also, I do recommend using, because that way you won't put stress on the actual Fire TV Stick connector. Instead, you'll be using the flexible little neck that the Fire TV Stick extender has. You also get, of course, a little Amazon wall adapter and a really long cable, which is good because even if you do use the wall one, you still have a lot of space. The actual remote itself is actually pretty awesome. You have, of course, your power, your Alexa button, your directional pad. You also have your buttons for back, home, menu, your multimedia player buttons, volume up and down, and of course it does use AA batteries. Now, looking at the actual device, the actual Fire TV Stick 4K only has a single micro USB port, and of course the other end is plugged into the TV directly. It's fatter, wider, and a little bit heavier than the original Fire TV Stick. That's of course because of more RAM and the better processor. Comparing to the actual Alexa remote, here it is side by side, but you guys can actually see that, the remote is still thicker, but it's almost close to the overall size of the remote, as you guys can see. Okay guys, so once you're signed up with your Amazon account and you have Wi-Fi configured, this is the main interface. Along the top, you basically have a list of all your most recent apps. Second row is your row of basically all your apps and games. If you go to the end and click on See All, is where you can see a list of all the installed applications. Let's say, for example, you've installed the app and you want to move it to the top. All you basically do is highlight it, press and hold, and you can move it to the top if you would like. Because by default, all the installed apps that you appear are going to show as the bottom. All of the rest of the rows inside this Amazon Fire TV Stick is all based on Amazon content. So if you have a Prime account, you will be able to basically, directly associate with any of these movies or TV shows. If you want to use only apps and you don't have an Amazon Prime account, you can still use the usual apps and games rows. But if you actually click on a movie and you want to actually watch it, you can do the trailer, add to watch list, or click on watch with Prime if you have a Prime subscription. So Amazon Fire TV is really laid across if you have an Amazon Prime account, which most of you do, which is pretty good, because all these links and all these movies are going to work right away if you do have Amazon Fire TV. If you have the Amazon subscription, or of course you can sideload or install Netflix, and you'll be able to watch Netflix as well. You can also install other apps if you'd like directly from the Amazon Fire TV store. You can see here, this is the row for all the recommended apps. If you want to go ahead and just search for one, go to the top left here, click on search, and you can go ahead, for example, search an app directly. Like for example, if I go to NAT Netflix, you can go ahead and install Netflix. Of course, the Amazon Fire TV does support real 4K Netflix, so that's awesome as well. If you want to go ahead and install it, all you basically do is click on the little download button, and it's going to go ahead and start installing Netflix. So that's basically the interface in a gist. You basically have all your apps and games, your recent, and all the Amazon content below. If you go to the top here, to the top right, you can go to your videos, you can go to your movies, TV shows, and of course apps is all the featured apps that you can install. It's kind of like the App Store. So if you go inside the little section here for apps, it's kind of like the Google Play Store, but instead you have the Amazon Fire TV Store. If you go into settings, you quickly have all your settings here. So notifications is basically, any recently installed app or any updates to your apps. Your Wi-Fi settings, your display and sound settings. You can manage your applications, control other equipments. You can also add other devices, check out Alexa, so see what Alexa is. If you go into preferences, you kind of have more information here about parental controls. You can monitor your notification, modify if you want content showed, see if you want to actually give Amazon access to your device, that kind of stuff. My Fire TV has more personal settings for your Fire TV, so where you can restart it, you can sleep it, factory default it. Make sure to always have this turned on. If you don't have it turned on, you won't be able to sideload applications on Fire TV Stick 4K. You also have accessibility options if you want to enable that, help, and of course my account. So let's go ahead directly and start testing out the Fire TV Stick and see what it can do. So first, let's run a 1080p HD video and see how it does. This is playing at 30 frames per second, 1080p HD off my local FreeNAS server, and as far as you can see, there is no stuttering. The picture quality is fantastic, and it's able to actually preload pretty fast. I've seen devices that are actually hardwired, like Android TV boxes, who have trouble with streaming 1080p locally. Now let's switch to 4K. This is kind of a more, a more bigger quality and bigger file size for 4K video, and it can handle it perfectly. So any 4K content you could throw on this device, you will be able to handle it with absolutely no issues, whether streaming or local. The Amazon Fire TV 4 Stick is fantastic. I don't know if I mentioned this, guys, yet, but the Fire TV Stick 4K interface is actually really snappy. Like, left, up, right, down, opening, closing app. It's extremely fast. So, the upgrades that Amazon threw into this device, it's actually really amazing. So what we're going to do next here is we're going to actually test out YouTube. It seems to be able to handle 4K videos on YouTube with just as easy as if you were running it locally here. So let's go ahead and skip forward. And as you can see, 3840 by 2160. It's actually really great, and there's no issues with streaming 4K on YouTube as well. Now, the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K also come with the Alexa remote, so I can go ahead and press the Alexa button on the remote and just start talking. For example, Alexa, what's the weather in New York tomorrow? We're gonna give it a couple seconds. Then it should kind of go ahead and bring up the weather in New York. I can also try, for example, Alexa, what's the news? And it's gonna go ahead and in this case, it's gonna open up CBC News. So we can also do, for example, stuff like app selection, like for example, Alexa, open Netflix. And now I should go ahead and open up Netflix for you. As you can see, it opened up right up. So it's pretty amazing. It's nice to have. If you do have like a smart home compatible thermostat or whatever, you can tell it to lower the temperature, lock your doors, all that kind of stuff. But of course, you do need those actually installed on the same Wi-Fi for it to work. But it's cool that this Fire TV Stick just does come with its own Alexa remote control. Okay, guys, now let's go ahead and test the Wi-Fi speed on this device. This is running Wi-Fi AC technology, which is the fastest and best Wi-Fi you can get. And it's actually even doing better than most boxes that only have a 100 megabit per second internet connection. I have run this test multiple times, and I sometimes even get great results, which is close to 140 to 150 down. My actual internet speed here at my location is 150. So as you can see, at one point I got 141, 146, 123, 108. So it's actually really reliable. You probably don't even need to hardwire this in. The Wi-Fi in this Fire TV Stick is amazing, and Amazon has done a great job with it. There's no need to hardwire it. If you are getting close to what's the speed you're actually getting on your computer or a wired device, it's pretty fantastic. And with average speeds of close to 90% of what you're actually paying for, I see no problem with leaving the device on Wi-Fi only and having no issues with buffering or stuttering or anything like that at all. In regards to app compatibility, you can sideload apps using your favorite method using ES File Explorer right here, or of course using FILELINKED. You'll be able to sideload any apps with absolutely no issues as long as your ADB debugging is turned on. I've thrown apps here like Mobdro and HD Movies, and HD Movies loads really well with no issues. I played a 1080p HD link, and it seems to work almost instantly. Same with Mobdro as well. When I launched it and started watching some live TV, I had no issues with stuttering. I have no compatibility issues. all the Android applications seem to work well with no issues. It's not like a weird format or, it doesn't work. Even with the apps that require like mouse toggle, what I do is I install mouse toggle on my actual Amazon Fire TV stick, and I can toggle through the device this way. So basically any Android app you will be able to install on your Fire TV stick with absolutely no issues. In regards to the Geekbench score, it got a single core score of 708 and a multi-core score of 2105. As you guys can see, this Amazon Fire TV stick is running a custom Android 7.1.2 with, of course, Amazon's layover for their interface. It's its own custom firmware, but of course it is based off Android 7.1.2. Now guys, in conclusion, do I recommend you guys buying the new Amazon Fire TV stick? Yes, I do. I do recommend buying it and upgrading if you have the original Fire TV stick, or if you have the older Fire TV. The Amazon Fire TV stick performs really well as an Android TV box. I wouldn't drop an NVIDIA Shield for it, or replace like my MeCool M8 Pro or my Beelink GT1 Ultimate with it, but using it and buying it as a secondary device for another room is a perfect solution. Small device, powerful, it can probably do anything you want, and plus if you're heavily invested in the Amazon ecosystem, that is also another big bonus as well. And there you guys have it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.